here in El Dorado Park, you just go and elect a councillor of drug lords, of a drug organization, of gangsters. The president of that organization says in the debate yesterday, Comrade Carl, he was debating with Mzwane Lemanyi. He says, the business of drugs, he thinks he's making a point, Dr. Ndlozi. The business of drugs has been taken over by Nigerians. I'm like, he wants us to take over the business of drugs. He doesn't say we must close down the drugs. His problem with the Nigerians is that they can no longer sell drugs as leaders of Patriotic Alliance. They want Nigerians to go so that they can sell the drugs. That's what he said. He said, go and watch that debate. He said, the business of drugs has been taken over by Nigerians. You know, when you say the business of selling on the pavements has been taken by Zimbabweans, because we want them to go, we want to sell ourselves vegetables, fruits, and survive. I can listen to that. But you are not going to mobilize me that I must fight another drug lord to replace that drug lord with you as a drug lord. We are not fighting the drug lords. We are fighting the drugs. The drugs must get out of South Africa.
So guys, yesterday a major story broke. And one thing I can tell you is that the deputy president of Patriotic Alliance, the best friend of Gayton McKenzie, Mr. Kenny Kunene, is in a lot of trouble. And I don't know how Kenny Kunene is going to get out of this one, because this is a very sticky situation. So guys, what is happening basically is that a couple of years ago, a very popular music DJ was assassinated in this country. The name of that DJ was DJ Sumbody. So the police have never arrested the people that are responsible for the murder of DJ Sumbody, but the police have already had their suspicions about who could have possibly orchestrated the assassination of DJ Sumbody. So the police is looking at a particular individual, and that person is called Mr. TK Molefe. So on Monday, when the police went to the home of Mr. TK Molefe, guys, guess what? Guess what? The deputy president of Patriotic Alliance was at the home of this individual that has been suspected to have orchestrated the assassination of this popular DJ. So this is a very dodgy individual that has been linked with numerous crimes. And when the police swatted his home, the deputy president of Patriotic Alliance, Kenny Kunene, was found at that home. So now Kenny Kunene is telling South Africans that, no, I don't know this person, I have never met this person before, but South Africans are not even having it. And I don't think that this is a good look, especially on somebody like Kenny Kunene. You know, Kenny Kunene and Gayton McKenzie, they have actually built this brand on this thing that, guys, we admit that we have made mistakes before, but we have opened a political party that is fighting for the rights of the people of this country. And one of the biggest things that we are fighting as Patriotic Alliance is criminality in this country, and it is the drugs and it is the drug lords. Only for the leader of a Patriotic Alliance to be found at the home of a person who has been suspected to have orchestrated the murder of DJ Sumbody and possibly other people. This is not a good look for Kenny Kunene, and I think this possibly could destroy the political life of Kenny Kunene. I think it could actually destroy the political life of Kenny Kunene as somebody who has been arrested before as a convicted criminal. So now South Africans are going to say that we were right all along. The EFF was right for saying that you guys are the criminals. You guys never reformed. You just opened a new political party as your new Ponzi scheme, and now you have been exposed. So this article says that Kenny Kunene says, I was at the wrong place at the wrong time for the right reasons. Patriotic Alliance Deputy President and Johannesburg MMC for Transport Kenny Kunene has denied knowing the murder accused DJ Molefe, TK Molefe, saying he was at his property by a coincidence when he was arrested on Monday. So Kenny Kunene saying that I was at the property of this guy in Sandton by a coincidence when he was arrested on Monday, and he has actually denied knowing the murder accused Katiso TK Molefe. So now it looks like Kenny Kunene is deploying the strategy of Senzo Mchunu of saying that I don't know this person that I've been linked with. You remember Senzo Mchunu denied knowing Mr. Brown Mokhotsi when General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi exposed the minister to say that this guy is an associate of yours and this guy is in possession of some sensitive South African Police Service information, and there's absolutely no way a civilian could be in possession of that kind of information unless he actually has somebody in the force. And the minister says, I don't know this person, I have never met this person, I have never received anything from this person. But when the pressure got hot, the minister came out and says, okay, I know this person, but this person is not my associate. This person is just a comrade to me. So right now, Kenny Kunene says that I don't know this person that has been accused of murdering and orchestrating the assassination of DJ Sumbody. I don't know this person that has been linked with numerous crimes. And like I said, guys, South Africans are not having it at all. So Kenny Kunene says, I have done nothing. I was at the wrong place at the wrong time for the right reasons. Kenny Kunene told Mail and Guardian on Tuesday. So the guy, after this story broke, he has been on a media panic tour because he knows that this is not a good look. He had already spoken with Mail and Guardian. And guys, I'm going to show you the clips on what he said about this matter on Newsroom Live, on SABC and ENCA. So Kenny Kunene is trying his best to clear his name. And I think that he's panicking. And if he actually had nothing to do with the situation that is happening right now, I don't think that he would be moving the way that he is. But the fact that this guy is speaking to media publications, is doing the interviews about this thing, and when you listen to his voice is going to tell you a lot. So Kenny Kunene denied ever meeting Mr. Molefe or having any contact with him before Monday when he was arrested for allegedly being the mastermind behind the 2022 murder of Oupa Sefoka, popularly known as DJ Sumbody. DJ Sumbody was killed in a drive-by shooting in Woodmead, Johannesburg on the 20th of November 2022. The vehicle he was in was left riddled with bullets, and his driver and bodyguards were pronounced dead at the scene. Kenny Kunene, who also owns the online publication Africa News Global, said the purpose of his visit to Mr. Molefe's property was to facilitate an exclusive interview on various topics for one of his journalists. Prior to Monday's arrest, Molefe was out on 100,000 rand bail for another murder case. So, guys, this is a very dangerous person. This is a very dangerous person. So Kenny Kunene actually wants South Africans to believe that, no, he went there because of his online publication that is called Africa News Global, and he wanted to facilitate an interview with this guy and one of his journalists. This is what Kenny Kunene is telling to us. This is what Kenny Kunene is telling to us. And he says that, I spoke to my contacts who knows this guy. He agreed to the interview to tell his side of the story. I was then told to bring the journalist because they felt comfortable with my presence. So I guess right now we have to know who is this journalist that Kenny Kunene was facilitating this supposedly interview for. We want to know who is this journalist. Who is this journalist? Quote, he says that as we drove in before entering the house and while greeting the person who had connected us to him, the police kicked the gate to come in. Kenny Kunene said when questioned by the police about whether he was an associate of Mr. Molefe, he had told them that he only knew him from a distance. He only knew him from a distance. Quote, they asked for his number and I told them I don't have it. I then said to them, I am sure they have his number. To assure them that I did not have his number, I told them to punch it on my phone and see if it would appear. Then they said I must show them the messages of the person who sent the message, and I showed the message to them. The person had even sent the name of the road, not the place, and then later sent me another message to say which address I must use. How can I be sent a message from a place that I have been before? So now he's totally denying. He's absolutely denying knowing this person. But I think it's only going to be a matter of time before Kenny Kunene admits that I actually know this person. I don't think that Kenny Kunene can suddenly be linked with a person of this stature and now saying that I don't know this person at all. I was only there because I wanted to facilitate an interview. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think it's only a matter of time before he actually comes out and says that, guys, like Senzo Mkunu, I know this guy, but he's not my associate. This guy is just a comrade to me. I think this is an excuse that we're going to get from Kenny Kunene. Asked whether he had ever met Mr. Molefe before his arrest on Monday, Kenny Kunene said he had only met with him at a birthday party for the mother of the person who organized the interview. Quote, I only saw him there. We greeted. I was in my corner with my people and he was in his corner with his people. I don't have his number. He does not have my number. We don't talk. I told the police to investigate and satisfy themselves. Molefe, who is accused of being the mastermind, is also central to the allegations by KwaZulu-Natal Police Commissioner General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi implicating suspended Police Minister Senzo Mkunu and senior police officials in the infiltration and control of the criminal justice system by organized crime syndicates. So now it looks like the revelations of General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi are now coming into fruition. It looks like everything that the general has said is now coming out to the light. It's now coming out to the light. And guys, you remember, one of the things that General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi said is that these criminal syndicates that are in Johannesburg, in their pockets, they have the people that are in the government. And some of these people are in parliament. So when we are speaking about the people that are in government, particularly in Johannesburg, we are speaking about the likes of Kenny Kunene, because Kenny Kunene is the MMC for transport there in Johannesburg. So he is in government there in Johannesburg. And this actually goes straight into what General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi said. General Mkhwanazi alleged that the pursuit of Molefe and Vusimusi Matlala were the reasons a task team originally set up to investigate political killings in KwaZulu-Natal. Was shut down by Mkunu. In a statement on Tuesday, police spokesperson Mate said 4 men aged 45 to 60 had been arrested in Gauteng on Monday in connection with the murder of DJ Sumbody. 3 of the men were believed to be hitmen and 1 was suspected of ordering the hit, Mate said, adding that the weapon allegedly used has since been linked to other murders. The suspect appeared at the Alexandra Magistrates Court on Tuesday on 3 counts of murder over the killing of DJ Sumbody and his employees Sibusiso Mokoena and Sandile Miyeza. On Tuesday, Democratic Alliance Johannesburg Caucus leader Belinda said Kenny Kunene's role as MMC for transport is untenable, given that he was found by the police at the home of a murder suspect. She said that the party was calling for Kunene's immediate resignation, failing which Johannesburg Mayor Dada Morero must fire him. Kunene's response that he had accompanied a journalist to the property was laughable, the DA representative said. So, this is what is happening, guys. And this is a major story. This is a major story. So, before we actually get to the response of the Democratic Alliance on this whole thing, I want us to look at in the press tour, because like I said, guys, Kenny Kunene has been on the press tour. He has been talking and he has been defending himself and saying that, guys, I am innocent. I know most of you are looking at me and you are looking at this situation and you have already concluded that I have committed this crime. But as a South African, I am assuring you guys that I actually had nothing to do. So I'm going to play 3 clips from Newsroom Africa, SABC, and the ENCA. And I know Kenny Kunene is saying the same thing over and over again, but the more he says it, like the more ridiculous that it sounds. So let's listen to why Kenny Kunene was at the home of a guy who has been suspected of orchestrating the murder of DJ Sumbody and other people.
You were at DJ Sumbody's alleged murder mastermind.
Yes.
What are you doing there?
I was there to take the journalist to go and interview him. You would have seen that my Africa News Global.
I mean, like, okay, guys, before we actually get into the mix of the things, Kenny Kunene says that I was at that home of TK Molefe because I went basically to accompany my journalist and to facilitate an interview between my journalist and Mr. Molefe. I mean, like, I'm sure that the journalist is old enough to go and conduct the interview by themselves. I don't think it was necessary for Kenny Kunene to be there and to particularly facilitate that thing physically. I don't think so. I think the journalist is old enough. And if Kenny Kunene could possibly get on a call with this guy to say that, okay, I'm going to send my journalist to you and this guy is going to do an interview with you. And that guy says, fine, what is the name of that journalist? Or that name of the journalist is Thomas Mabaso. Okay, I will be expecting Thomas Mabaso. Okay, it's fine. But for him to be found at the home of that person and for him to say that I was there to facilitate an interview between this guy and my journalist, it sounds ridiculous. It sounds ridiculous. It doesn't make sense at all.
You were at DJ Sumbody's alleged murder mastermind.
Yes.
What are you doing there?
I was there to take the journalist to go and interview him. You would have seen that my Africa News Global has not been active because since I took office, I haven't had the time to focus on it. I've lost some journalists, journalists that were working for me. So those that have asked for jobs, I have then decided that let me rather give it to them so that they can run it. And obviously, Africa Global, News Global has always focused on exclusive news. And that's one of those exclusives where there was an opportunity to interview Mr. Molefe by this young journalist.
Why? Why is he so interesting to you?
It's not just interesting to me, it's interesting to you too, Bravoyo, and South Africans at large. He's been accused of having masterminded a murder. He's been in the news. We heard that General Mkhwanazi spoke about his arrest, how it was done. So there are interesting things that are surrounding him, and therefore it would have been a great exclusive for the journalist to actually talk to the man. He hasn't spoken to any publication, any newspaper, because primarily mainstream media will always focus on the sensational matters, but journalism is about objectivity and hearing the other side. So the journalist was right to say, let's hear the other side now that the gentleman is on bail. You would have seen this very same platform was at Khosi Mampuru, where they also wanted to interview Ket Matlala, who is also accused.
Exactly. I mean, however, here, and I mean, it's not for lack of trying, that I can tell you.
Yes, they
so
tried.
He was keen to talk to you, not that we didn't want to talk to him.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying that there is that interest to also talk to suspects. It's not a new thing. So it was just a question of, we were there at the time when the police were arriving, because less than 5 minutes of us being there, whilst we were on the driveway, we have not even gone into the house. Then the police arrived. They were kicking the gate. The boy came in, came to us outside there. We were with the person that facilitated the interview. And the police were kicking the gate. Mr. Molefe came out. He said, open the gate. Open for them. They came in. They found us there.
I mean, guys, this is not a good look, man. This is not a good look. This is not a good look. And there's an explanation that Kenny Kunene is giving to us. It's like when a child is in a trouble in a classroom because he didn't do his homework, and the teacher is like, Thomas, why didn't you do your homework? And I'm there telling the teacher that the dog ate my books. This is what it sounds like right now. Absolutely ridiculous. Sounds like it is absolutely ridiculous. I'm telling you.
We know what happened subsequently.
Subsequently, they asked who the owner of the house was. There was a Casper, there were Vitlas, Combis, police covered with masks, and others in private with no masks. And they asked who is the owner. Mr. Molefe said, it's me. Then they cuffed him, told him that he's under arrest. And then they sought our particulars, and they saw me, and then they called me aside. Brakeni, what are you doing here? No, I'm here for this purpose. That gentleman has facilitated for us to talk to this man on this matter. Do you have any personal relationship with him? No. Do you have his number? No. Here's my phone. Punch his number and check if I have his number. I don't have his number.
I feel like the what happened with the Senzo Mkunu had, like, it showed us that every time when the politician says, I don't know this person, I've never met this person before, and I have never received anything from this person, normally they are lying. Normally they are lying, because right now we are not just talking about an average guy. We are talking about someone who was exposed by General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, and this guy has been linked with these masterminds that are controlling the people in government and in Gauteng and some people in parliament. And you have Kenny Kunene at the home of that person when the police entered the home. Guys, come on. I mean, this will actually go straight into what Julius Malema has been saying about Patriotic Alliance for a very long time. That this is a drug organization. This is a criminal organization that is run by two criminals. Because this is exactly what is happening right now. This is exactly what is happening. And I want you guys to actually listen to the tone of Kenny Kunene when he was actually explaining the same story on SABC. Because maybe when he went to Newsroom Live, he had already fixed his voice, But when he was at the SABC, I actually want you to check the body language of Kenny Kunene explaining this story, man. This is not good, man. This is not good at all.
A pleasure to have you with us. So, just given based on the reports that have emerged that you were at the home of Mr. Katiso Molefe when the arrest was effected, is this in fact the case?
Yes, it is true that I was at the house of Mr. Molefe.
Mm-hmm. And what was the nature of the visit? Are you guys perhaps close friends?
No, we are not friends. I think if you look at my online newspaper, it hasn't been that active, and I decided to put together some young people that can then run.
I mean, and that's the thing, man. Your online publication has not been active, and the moment you tried to get your online publication to be active, then suddenly you are busted at the home of a guy who has been suspected to have been orchestrating the murders of South Africans. This is how insane it sounds.
A pleasure to have you with us. So, just given based on the reports that have emerged that you were at the home of Mr. Katiso Molefe when the arrest was effected, is this in fact the case?
Yes, it is true that I was at the house of Mr. Molefe.
Mm-hmm. And what was the nature of the visit? Are you guys perhaps close friends?
No, we are not friends. I think if you look at my online newspaper, it hasn't been that active, and I decided to put together some young people that can then run with it, that are interested in the media space, and to resuscitate it, obviously, and in its own tradition, African News Global has always focused on exclusive stories. So they wanted to do an exclusive story, and Mr. Molefe was a person where there was an opportunity to do a story with him. Remember that he has not spoken publicly since his arrest and whilst he was on bail. And so I facilitated with somebody that I know that knows Mr. Molefe. And Mr. Molefe agreed to do the interview, and the meeting was facilitated.
So you were there essentially as the editor-in-chief of the newspaper, facilitating an interview exclusively?
No, not as editor-in-chief. I am handing the platform as the owner to these young people because I don't have time for it with the work that I'm doing in the city. And
But I don't hear the journalist asking a very simple question. Was there a need for you to be there specifically? Was there a need for you to be there at the home of Mr. Molefe physically? Was there a need for you to be there in person? Because if you know that this person has been linked with the crimes that General Ntantla Mkhwanazi has spoken about, and you know that this guy, you being seen with this guy, is actually going to damage your reputation, but you went there regardless. You went there regardless. So was there a need for you to be there in his home? This is a question that nobody is asking this person.
But these matters are very sensitive. So the person that facilitated said, you have to bring the journalist, which I did. He sent me the address, and we followed that address. In fact, he sent me the first address, and then he said, no, don't use this one, use this one. It was just a question of street or road or something. So we used the address, we got there, we drove in. As we're in the driveway, standing.
And guys, if you listen to the explanation of Kenny Kunene, he's actually trying to push this thing into the narrative that I was misled into being in this home. I was misled to being in this home, and I didn't know who this house belongs to. I don't know the owner of this house. I only saw this person once at a party somewhere. I was with my friends and this person was with his friends. I didn't know where this person stays. So when I was given an address of where this particular person stays, I didn't have an idea it was going to be TK Molefe. So he's basically trying to say that I'm a victim. I'm a victim. I was given an address of a criminal. I'm a victim. This is basically what Kenny Kunene is trying to say. And this is exactly where he's actually getting the pushback that no, you are not the victim. You are not the victim, and it is not a coincidence. This is what the people are saying, that it is not a coincidence and you are not a victim. But he's pushing that line that no, I was only given this address. I didn't know who lived in that house. So I'm only a victim.
I don't know if it's the son or one of the boys came running and saying the police are kicking the gate, and Mr. Molefe came out and they said, no, open the gate.
So just for clarity, you were yet to enter the premises as well. Is that what you're saying?
No, we're inside the premises.
So you're inside the premises?
In the driveway.
Okay, but there's two of you inside now. It's you and the young journalist you have come to introduce to Mr. Molefe.
No, it's me, the young journalist, and the person that is coming to introduce us to Mr. Molefe.
All right.
The person that has facilitated for the interview to happen. So before we could even go in the house or sit wherever we're going, the journalist will do an interview, then the police arrived. Rifles, Casper, V-classes, and they then asked who is the owner of the house. Mr. Molefe said, it's me, and then they handcuffed him, and they then wanted our particulars, and they called me to ask me these questions. What am I doing there? And I explained to them. They asked me if I've got the number of Mr. Molefe. They want to see it. I said, I don't have his number.
All right.
By the way, you can take my phone, punch his number, and see if I have it. How did you get here? I got here because this person sent me the address. And I can show you on my phone. I got the address, and I came here. I just arrived. When you guys do your drama, I've not even been offered water. So they then asked.
So arresting a person who has been linked with the assassination of a very popular musician and other people is causing drama. According to Kenny Kunene, these people were just causing their drama. The police were causing their drama.
Asked for my phone, I opened it, and they saw that the message with the address, with the two addresses, came from the gentleman who said, Mtumande, please use this address. And that's how I got there.
This lullaby is actually not convincing, man. This lullaby is actually not convincing. So Kenny Kunene is saying that even if the investigation were to be done, nothing would be found on him and he will be vindicated.
Given all the allegations made against him by Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, if investigators had to dig and look for any connection between you and him, they're going to find nothing. Can you say that for sure?
Yes, they're going to find nothing. I told them. If I knew Mr. Molefe, you see, one thing about me, I don't lie about things.
By Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, if investigators had to dig and look for any connection between you and him, they're going to find nothing. Can you say that for sure?
Yes, they're going to find nothing. I told them. If I knew Mr. Molefe, you see, one thing about me, I don't lie about things because things come out. If at all I knew Mr. Molefe and I had his number and he sent me the address I was going to meet him, I was going to say yes. I was going there to meet him, and these are the reasons why I was going to meet him. There's a lot of people, there's relatives of mine that have committed crimes. I've gone to see them. There are people that have supported me in my business when I had clubs and restaurants, and they would be in trouble, and I would go to the police station and see them.
Okay, all right. Let's just very quickly touch on the actual night that DJ. Is it Sumbody? Is it somebody or somebody? Okay, we'll agree to disagree on the name. Everyone is. When he was killed, where you tell us about that night very quickly, what you remember.
I can't really remember where I was, but I saw on social media, and some people also called me. By the way, before DJ Sumbody rose to prominence, I used to work with him in Tshwane. Sunnyside, before he even opened a place, I used to work with him. I actually...
So guys, this is DJ Sumbody. This is a popular DJ that was assassinated in 2022.
Groomed him in the entertainment industry. We did things together. I advised him about the entertainment industry. His brother knows that. So he was a good guy that I worked with very, very well. And I was indeed touched by his manner, because he was a nice guy. He never fought with anyone. He was just a fun guy, just like me.
And you're pleased with these arrests? I mean, the people that they finally they hopefully he will get justice.
Hopefully, let him get justice. The police are doing their job. But when the police arrest you, it doesn't mean you are guilty. So the matter must go to court, be tested. Because I always avoid a situation where I conclude, because people have been embarrassed before where they have made noise, and when the case goes to court, the person is acquitted.
We'll let you take the first.
I don't want to play in that space, but I think it's good that the police are making way into crime.
And the journalist says that we are going to let you take the fifth on this one. Don't say a lot. You might actually implicate yourself. Don't say a lot. You might actually implicate yourself. So the Democratic Alliance is not actually particularly impressed with the explanations that are given by Kenny Kunene. They are saying that the explanations that are given by Kenny Kunene are laughable, but they are laughable at least.
Mr. Kunene has explained himself. He is a fellow council member. Do you buy his story?
Good evening, Kholi, and good evening to the viewers. No, we don't buy his story. We believe it's laughable. Firstly, what is a concern for me is that in the middle of the day, he's explaining even how he got there. That is very concerning for us, because we're sitting with major crises currently in the city. And during the day, the MMC of Transport has the time to visit a murder suspect take a journalist who's supposed to be independent, if it is a journalist, to a murder suspect's house. That is in itself very concerning for us, and we can go into the ethical issues of that, but it's very concerning for us that the executive, one of the members of the executive, who has no time to at least explain to some of the residents why their potholes are not fixed, why the Lili Ngoi is still where it is today, and why half of Sandton is without water for 6 days, has the time to go and visit with a journalist a murder suspect. That is a very concerning matter for us, and that is why we are saying he must step down.
So Patriotic Alliance and Gayton McKenzie, they have made a big mistake by having an enemy like the Democratic Alliance. Man, you don't want to have an enemy like the DA on times like this. I'm telling you, you don't want to have an enemy like the Democratic Alliance. You don't want to. I'm telling you. Because right now, the DA will go at this with everything that they have. And they will go at this with everything that they have. And like I said, guys, I still don't think that it is a good look. I don't think that it is a good look for this for Kenny Kunene to have been found at the home of this person. So, but there's one person that actually believes in Kenny Kunene, guys. I know that many of you guys do not believe Kenny Kunene. I know that many of you guys are looking at this story and you are just saying that, but Kenny Kunene is just a criminal, man. This guy is just a criminal. And you guys actually believe that he is guilty. But there's one person that actually believes Kenny Kunene, and this person yesterday went on social media to try to explain to South Africans that Kenny Kunene is innocent on these matters. And he believes Kenny Kunene, and he knows that Kenny Kunene is telling the truth. And surprise, that person is Gayton McKenzie. So Gayton McKenzie did a very long clip. He did a very long video speaking about this matter and slowly explaining to South Africans as if he is speaking with his cellmates about this thing, because what Gayton McKenzie is saying over here, it is quietly ridiculous. I want you guys to actually sit and watch what Gayton McKenzie is going to say on this matter. And after watching this video of Gayton McKenzie, guys, please tell me what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button, and the most important part, subscribe. My name is Thomas Mabaso. This is what Gayton McKenzie is saying, guys. Bye-bye.
From the TP Kenny Kunene yesterday. As you remember, when I was in Namibia. I was in Namibia, and I got a call from him to say, I need to speak to you about something that happened. I said, I can't speak now, can I call you back? He said, yeah, sure. So I called him back. I said, what happened? He said, no, you went to, he first said, you remember I told you about this thing I'm following up on, some story. I said, yeah, you didn't tell me the story, you just told me that there's something big that you're following up. Excuse me. He says, yeah, I went there, and then he was supposed to meet somebody, and the person said, no, let's meet at this house. And they sent him a location pin. And they sent him a location pin of the house that they were supposed to have met, where they would meet. He said it's his first time at the house. He's never been to the house. And that's why they had to send him a location pin. And he came there. There was this journalist boy. When they got there, he said they were just sitting. He doesn't know this guy. He knows the other guy that sent him the location pin. He doesn't know the girl's guy, the owner of the house. And they sat down. As they sat down, the cops came through the thing. And they said, everybody on the floor and whatever. He said, yeah, he went on the floor. like everybody on the floor. He knows he has done nothing wrong. So he went on the floor, and then one of the cops says, "Hey, Kenny Kunene, it's you. What you doing here?" He says, "No, I came to talk to these people here. I came with that." They said, "Do you know this guy?" Kenny says, "No, I don't know this guy." They said to him, "You don't know this guy? What you doing in his house?" He said, "No, I don't know the guy." They said, "But you're at his house. How did you get here if you don't know him?" He said, "No, this guy," and he's pointing to the other guy, "send me location pin to this guy. I don't know this guy. If you ever spoken to the guy?" He says, "I've never spoken to this guy." They said, "Can we take your phone?" He says, "Yeah, fine, you can take my phone. I got nothing to hide." So they take his phone, they check. They then came back and they said, "Hey, Kenny, we're so sorry. Here's your phone. You can leave." You can leave. They gave him his phone, they checked, and he left. He never hid it from me. He told me, this is what happened. I asked, "Who else did you tell?" He says, "No. I just told you and our friends what happened." I said, "Is it? Sure." I said, "Yo, this thing, we must prepare because it's going to leak out anyway." This morning, I think he called, he spoke a little bit again, telling me. And then I was in cabinet today and in plenary. And so we had a private conversation this morning, which I'm going to share here. A conversation where we disagreed on a matter. And when I just saw like everybody's talking about it, this thing is everywhere. This thing is everywhere. And I want to come and talk about this. So the thing is everywhere. People say Kenny's involved and whatever. Now, I only have 3 parts to the story tonight. This is the first part. I told you the first part. The second part is what I'm going to tell you who that guy. The newspapers asked me, "Do you believe Kenny Kunene's story?" I said, "Of course. Of course I believe his story." I knew I told Kenny a while ago to say the media hates us, he must, because when he got involved in politics, in positions of the state, he had one of the best online companies. I said to him, we must use this company again. He says he can't, he already gave it to some young people. He promised them. And I said, as long as they bring PA stories, because we don't want to talk to the media. So I knew already that he's given it to young people. I know that. He told me, when I asked him, "Listen," I said, "I want to buy newspapers. I want to buy a newspaper because we don't get a fair shake. The day get all the..." He said to me, he says, "Hey, it's going to be, I can't do that because I've given my word." Right. That's the first point. So to all the media that asked me, "Do you believe what Kenny said?" 100%. I do. I believe him 100%. 100%. I know this man. Let me tell you who's Kenny Kunene. People think Kenny is my friend. Kenny is not my friend. Kenny was my friend. Kenny has gone past being a friend. He became the brother I never had. I grew up not having a brother. And you know how you know somebody's your brother and he irritates the living daylights out of you sometimes. And Kenny has been the one person that made me change my life in jail. Kenny has been the constant in my life. Kenny is the godfather of my children. I'm the godfather of his children. I don't even hang out with Kenny. I don't, he's a socialite. I am not. He's a socialite. I'm not. Kenny will still DJ. I'm hopeless in the club. And I don't go out much. My going out is when I go to a restaurant or just hanging with my friends at my house. Like when we watched Springboks the other day, my friends came to watch. And Kenny has been the one guy that inspired me in jail to change my life. I know Kenny, and I tell you now, Kenny will never get involved with murderers. That's not him. Why would he want to get involved with people that... Now, when me and him differs, he doesn't believe he was set up. I do. He doesn't believe it. He says, no, I wasn't set up. I think he was set up. By who? I don't know yet. I just know this thing smells like a setup, but I've got no proof of that. He doesn't think that. He says, no, I don't think so, and whatever. Because Kenny is a people's person. Like he's got a trusting nature about him. Now, a murder is a serious thing. This guy, I've forgotten now what his name is, the one that was arrested. I'm glad he got arrested. They must come and arrest all of them because I heard that gun killed like 10 people. I'm glad they arrested him. And he's not the only one. They must still come and arrest all the others. Because we're a country that has a problem of killings. I know how much love Kenny had for this DJs, all the DJs, whether it's somebody or whatever. He knew all of them. If you put a DJ here, I wouldn't even know who he is. I'm just showing you. So, Kenny doesn't believe he was framed, or not framed, he was set up. Now I'm saying to you, that man is a good man, Kenny Kunene. Kenny will not hurt a fly. Kenny has found himself in something that he doesn't understand at the moment. I spoke to him 10 minutes. I was supposed to speak to him for half an hour. We spoke for an hour. That's why I was late for the live. Because he doesn't understand what's really happening here. But I want to say to people, I can't come here and tell you Kenny's got nothing to do with this thing. I can't come here and lie and say Kenny's got nothing to do with this thing if I knew the truth. But I'm telling you what the truth is. The truth is that Kenny's got nothing to do with this. Kenny is not a violent person. Never been violent. I was the violent one day in jail. Kenny will always be the peacemaker. He's so trusting of people. So, I asked myself, if this was any other PA member that is here on the news and the party's name is being mentioned, and now I know Kenny. I know he's innocent. I know he's not guilty of all the things I read on the comment sections of people. But I ask myself as the leader, if this wasn't Kenny, what would I have done? Would I have, if I didn't know the person, would I have, like I know Kenny, would I have defended the person? No, I would not have defended the person. So as the leader, I'm going to subject Kenny to the same things I would subject any one of you and myself. These allegations of people must be tested. It's not enough that I, as his brother, know that he's innocent. There must be an investigation. He said he's never called the guy, his phones must be given in. He said the guy sent him a thing. Those things must be investigated. And we are going to appoint tomorrow, and we'll tell you. And in a group of advocates and lawyers to investigate this matter. I'm going to give them 30 days to investigate this matter, and then their report I will share with you. I believe Ken is innocent, but that's not enough. Murder is a serious thing. This is a serious allegation that goes around by the Democratic Alliance, by all the parties. So I don't want PA to be the party where we put things under the carpet, even if we know, even if I know. So I'm saying to you, Kenny Kunene will be investigated, and I'm going to tell you who's going to investigate him, lawyers of good character. And while he's being investigated, I'm going to remove him from being an MMC. I'm going to write to them. I'm also going to tell him to stand back from politics for 1 month until the investigation is done. That's the hardest thing I ever had to do in my life. It's the hardest thing. To act against Kenny Kunene. Yeah, it's the hardest thing I ever had to do. But you see, the party must always come first. The party must always come first. And no one is bigger than the party. Kenny Kunene has nothing to hide, and the investigation will prove that. But I don't want you to think there's VIPs in the PA. I don't want you to think. I want you to know. Just as Kenny is going to be subjected to this as our deputy president, and he must stand back from politics for 1 month or for as long as the investigation is on, he's going to be removed as the MMC. So shall all of us. But it's not enough that me as his brother knows he's innocent. It's important, but I want you to know that I've done many things in my life, and this is the hardest one I ever had to do. That's my brother, man. Kenny doesn't need politics. He's doing this for the love of people. I know the investigation will come back with the truth, but I already know. But I need you to know that there's no VIPs in the Patriotic Alliance. Kenny must answer. What did he do there? Why was he there? And he has the answers. But the PA is a different political party. The PA is a different political party. I can show the DA making posters about Kenny, but I can show them people that's before court here in the Western Cape, which they don't act against. But we must be transparent. If there's an allegation against me tomorrow, I will come on this live and I will say, I'm going to stand back while we investigate the allegation, because we want to be different than the ANC, the DA, and all the parties. So, we mustn't, when we say there's no celebrities or there's no famous people in the PA, we mean it. And to all of you that talk, Kenny this, you don't know him. I know him. And the reason why I'm taking this step, this big step, you might not see it now, but you will thank me later, because I know he's innocent. You all know how close we are. We've been close for 30 years. I'm not even telling you one lie when I tell you it is the hardest thing. All I want to do is jump in my bed and just sleep. It is the hardest thing I ever had to do. And I'm going to do it. Because the party always comes first. The unity of the party. So we will announce tomorrow who the new MMC is. And we will announce also, on Thursday, not tomorrow, Thursday, who the new MMC will be. We will also announce on Thursday who's going to do the investigation. We will also announce the result of this investigation. For Patriots, I just want to say, I saw the D was giving out this flyer saying, Kenny Kunene, this, there, the by-election, when I was in Drakenstein. All I'm saying to you is that pray for our DP. But I don't want nobody to think because he's my brother, nothing must happen to you, nothing, he's untouchable. Nobody's untouchable in the PA. I love that man. What that man has done for me in my life is money can't buy. But you see, the PA is a kingdom assignment, and God doesn't give you an assignment. This is a godly party. This is a godly party, no matter what people think. This is a kingdom assignment, and God gives his hardest task to his strongest soldiers. So all I want to say to you, Patriots, it's going to be all right. Just pray for our DP. We're going to fix this. I don't think he's understanding what's happening at the moment. I spoke to him earlier. I don't think he understands fully. I don't think I don't want him to become the face of something that he's not. So just know, whether you're Gayton McKenzie or Kenny Kunene, when you are being accused of something serious, you will not be getting special treatment. I want to thank the Patriots that stand with the DP. It makes me really happy. It makes me truly, truly, truly happy. But I want people to know that this party doesn't have VIPs.